molded Nobler cowling. I see you're so impressed.
I made it myself.
My son is so impressed. He made it himself. Take a bite out of it. It's chocolate.
Not tonight, but tomorrow, just for you.
Yeah, even if you eat it, we have more.
I'll even place it in the
Check, there's more in the mold. Stick your finger in that mold.
No thanks, but
we got some trimmed, some untrimmed. Anyway, just a little progress report here on what's coming. Nobler cows, Cardinal cows, they're all coming. Now the main thing, are you going to get that grass mowed?
The grass will be mowed.
Okay, let's get this on video. I promise to mow the grass so my lovely, lovely Wendy can go and play toy airplanes.
On the lawn?
On the lawn.
I don't know.
That grass mowed. Even though it rained a little bit this morning, looks like it's clearing up. So I hope we can get the contest in today. This is the old time stunt weekend. Next to the last meet of the year. We're closing in on having the building season start and get that I-beamer started. Don't you have some money for me?
Me? No.
Oh, look at that. Look at him turn colors. Boy. Hey! It's okay if you don't say hello, Mary. It's okay.
How are you?
Hey, how you doing? This is the really wide-angle panorama lens of the circle burner field. Looks like we're done with the rain, hopefully, and we got a beautiful day going here. Actually got a pretty good turnout today too, and the famous circle burner food poisoning. Yeah, this is for John Pothier. I know you're dying to just jump in this convertible and drive home. Looks like it's beautiful, beautiful shape here. He offered to trade me this car even for my Spitfire, and I said no.
We make more money.
You got the antidote here, Andy? Coffee 50 cents, antidote $4. How do you think this club survives?
We're good in math too, you know.
Is that your car there, Steve?
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, looks nice. Well, you get a plane in that trunk, huh?
Probably put your Spitfire in there without any
Yeah, I was going to put you in there.
Here's the patches we have on.
This looks like Banjack's 12 times normal size ringmaster here. I hope we get to see this fly today. How you doing, Mike? What are they having, a sale on Yates Dragons this week, or what?
Was it more than one here?
No.
I just flew my ringmaster here. I'm going to be hard pressed to beat him with my own airplane.
Well, we can arrange that.
Oh, for me to get beat? That doesn't take much.
How's the house coming out? Good?
Yeah.
Gonna be able to build a nice big Lionel layout, have me over there every Saturday at about $40 an hour to get it running for you?
I got space that's about 14 by 15.
Well, I got an invitation to go to that guy's layout up in Montville, the one that's $80,000 he just paid to have it made in his house. So I'm gonna go videotape the thing. I got a personal invitation to come to his house. It's hard to believe. Well, he finds out what a bad guy I am.
He doesn't do model airplanes.
No, he doesn't know about planes. He only knows about the train end of my life. Yeah, that's the prototype right there, baby.
What's it weigh?
It's a little lighter than the wood piece that we molded it from.
Yeah. But look at all the work you saved.
There's no finish. You could just sand this, prime it, and paint it. And I don't think you'll break it as easy. Actually, we're gonna mold some up out of even thinner material eventually, but yeah, showed us around today. Rodak's gonna be selling these, so hope we get orders for thousands of them. You're looking chipper and spry today.
I didn't recognize you. You lost some weight.
Yeah, I know. No,
Evelyn said the same thing yesterday.
I gotta do that.
when I go away on vacation, I run out of money. In the last 2 weeks, I have to eat hamburgers.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, if you don't have a choice, you know.
Yeah.
Back in Poland, we didn't have any fat guys, you know.
You keep putting on weight, you keep eating and eating and eating, and you don't want to stop.
No, I never know. As long as the pizza parlor is open, I'll get fat.
How you doing? You flying
Good.
today?
Hey, bombastic. What's happening?
How you feeling?
Oh, so. Yeah, pretty good. Hello.
Good morning.
You gonna fly the flight streak, my man?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm ready. I'll save tape.
All right.
Who's gonna be the lucky guy? Halftime, right?
Flying her.
All right. Good man. That's worth the price of admission.
You see that guy?
What exactly is that?
That's for John Brodak's kit, the fiberglass cowlings.
So what's he going to do? Sell this as an option?
Yeah, an option, sure.
How much?
$30.
It's pretty nice. How's the weight?
It's lighter than a wood one is. And there's a lot you can take out of that. You know, the vents aren't in there yet, the holes for the exhaust.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta have some place for the air to go.
Have you started on that kit yet?
It's done.
It's done.
It's done. Be ready to fly next weekend. You may see it here, I don't know.
You bring your Spitfire up.
Paint it, then build it, that's for sure. See ours, they're all exploding and ripping tapes up. Where's my warranty work?
My cable TV carries the red green show.
You got it. All right, tape it for me.
Oh, well, it's on already last night.
Put.
New Jersey Network. You know, the New Jersey
Yeah. What channel is it on?
On mine is 8, CBS.
It's not on my channel.
NTN.
No, not on mine. I looked at the whole TV guide.
You believe that?
Joe's. This is Joe Adamuska. This is the one that was in the magazine. How old is this plane?
Oh, it's got
Legit.
25. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 20 years. It's older than Lampion's pants. Bobby's, whose is older, yours or his? Who's playing? Not your pants. Dingbat.
I don't know, how old is it?
This is Joe's original one.
This is 28 years old.
I don't know.
28? How old is this guy?
I don't know.
Probably the same, yeah.
Yeah, except Bob's looks better.
This is close to 29 years old.
Well, Bob keeps waxing it, you know.
A carbon dating machine at my...
There's no law against wiping it off when you're done flying, you know. You won't be offending Joe if you took a little compound and buffed it out once in a while. Oh, God.
What I found with this airplane, I've flown it a couple times since last year.
Yeah, I judged you last year when you were flying this.
It depends on what the weather's like. On wind, it just seems, on a windy day, it's really hard to fly.
Yeah.
But on a nice calm day like today,
It's beautiful.
easy. Okay, I was looking at it last night. Look at the leading edge.
Oh. Too pointy. Flatten it out and then paint a de-icer boot along it. That's too pointy. Hold it up like this. Anybody doesn't know, when planes don't fly good in level flight, that's 90% of the reason. They're too pointy in the front. You don't want, you want that
You want it blunt. Yeah, I think.
blunt.
Yeah, I went
It can
through that
never
with a
be
carrier
too
ship
blunt.
I built.
If it's too blunt, it just eats up power.
I went through that with a carrier. I couldn't get
Tom, whose Nobler is this?
guy from Allen.
Oh,
Name I can't remember.
oh. Can you turn it over for me? We want to see if this cowling fits. We're doing cowling tests today.
Now wait a minute. How many pounds force to make sure it fits?
Oh no. You ever go to a shoe store and they tell you, don't worry, they'll wear in.
Fit. You can see it right there.
No, this one here.
What's that?
Everything over.
Oh, you're gonna try that Bodak one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
It's exactly the same. Okay. You probably could use it on a green box Nobler then, huh?
yeah.
I'd be willing to bet if you have to take the cowling off later, just drop that on and see if it fits.
Okay, we'll do that. Hey, that's nice.
See, the only way you know if this stuff works is in the real world. You know, when you do this in your basement and you're watching cable TV.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like when you get to the field, it doesn't fit.
That's gonna be great.
Oh, so you can become an expert at the
Oh, hey, we got one. Come here. Look.
Already almost ready to fly stunt.
Now, I'm not going to touch this, but I want to show you because it's never been touched.
This until now.
Yeah, see.
Oh, look at this.
Everything's still bonded or, bundled the way to wood.
Yeah. The paper's even old. Is the wood any good?
I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know. Like I said, I ain't never
The wood is rotted, in fact. Which would you rather carve? Wouldn't this look nice right inside the kit? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that piece of wood is. I wonder what is this, like mold or something on there? I'm gonna
No
touch
idea.
it. Let's see what the horns look like. Dig those horns out.
Oh, that's that old flat.
Those are the old things that are welded on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No good.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's nice, Randy. Believe me. You build up a kit, that'll save you a week of work.
How do I attach the mounting points?
Here's your stuff for you.
It'll be on the video. I gotta finish the video yet.
Okay.
I got 4 of them home now.
This is the stuff for you and Joe.
Okay. All right, there's directions in there?
Yep.
Okay, I'll put this on the tapes. This is filleting material, really?
I don't think I haven't seen anything that can touch it.
This contains polyamide modified amine. You know what that is? Death. Get that in your eye and you're blind. Don't ever get it on your hands and then rub your eyes.
I used to use this. I used to do fiberglass cutting for rifles for accuracy. This is what I was telling you about.
Yeah, they have that down the shop. Similar stuff to that they can actually make a like a I don't know, a fillet or something that's as strong as the steel. I'll know in a week. Yeah, you told me.
I mean, modified Digley acidio ester of bisphenol A. Contains neural purple alcohol polyvinyl.
Known to cause death in rats, but we don't have anything to worry
This
about.
goes in your pocket, the $51. Tell your wife to take me off the hit list. Tell her to take me off the hit list.
You can take you off the shit list, not the hit list.
Here's your 3 layers.
You're at the top of it. Whoa, I put them back in the box.
I'm going to put all this in the box.
Yeah, okay. I'll waddle over to the car later and put that over there. Yeah, I remember when my Nobler fit in a box like that. Oh, man. Revenge is a bitch.
I got fuel on it. Okay. Just keep her nose high. Yeah, I'm doing that so she don't siphon.
Gotcha. How's the mom doing, Wendy? She's doing well. They turned her electricity back on even. Had a problem with the electrical service. No electricity for 3 days. Lost all the food in the freezer.
I got my radio control friend from Maryland up here with me. I'm wanting to see that Seafire.
Contest Director Supreme, Ken Thompson. Must have left his horse parked in the parking lot here. All he needs is 6 guns, he'll be all set.
You come off and it says, don't go right on the way around. You go by and
Dan Vanjak, first official flight. Ooh, nice takeoff. Grease-o-matic. Anyway, we're going to eagerly await. I hope we get to see during a lunch break. Dan's going to fly the gigantic, I don't know how big it really is, but it's supposed to be 4 times the size of a normal flight suite. Nice little demo flight, and Dan is always good for, well, entertainment, entertainment value, along with being a super pilot. He also holds the record for not changing his t-shirt. He has had that Cub t-shirt on, actually since I think he was born wearing that t-shirt. Steve DeGiulia has threatened to give him a nice red DeGiulia electric shirt, but Dan doesn't want to hear about it. He says, that shirt is so comfortable, it smells so nice. Actually, it's very odoriferous, no doubt about it. Nice shirt, too. And we'll be looking forward to seeing the big guy fly. Dan won expert last year. In fact, maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't know. It was last year. I don't remember. Shows you what I know. Anyway, we're looking forward to trying that fillet material. And we are always looking for fillet material. That's something that I just wish somebody would come up with the magic solution and you could just fly it over the counter and the fillets wouldn't bubble, but we'll sure see. And Pat did have nice fillets on his ship, and I guess they've been out in the sun for a year or so. Now what's great is the Yankees beat the Indians last night 6-1, so they're ahead 2 games to 1, which means absolutely nothing. They were ahead of Seattle 2 games to nothing a couple of years ago and didn't make the cut. So anyway, when we actually do get out of here this afternoon, Jets are 3-2. They're looking good. The Giants look like they're sleeping at the controls, but hey, you never know. That's what's fun about all competitive sports. You never really know. My God, the Jets could be in the playoffs this year if they keep playing. Anyway, it looks like Dan's got a really nice flight going here. I want to try to get Bob Lampione's plane, I believe, is the oldest one here, and it's 27 or 28 years old. Joe Adamusco's got the original U-2. It's his original U-2. He's not flying it. And that is the one that was in the magazine. Classic piece of stunt history. Hey, Dan's got a real nice flight going. I'm glad I'm getting this one on video for him. Dan, we bust you a lot, but believe me, we have the ultimate respect for your flying ability. But the shirt's gotta go. You gotta get the Julia shirt. Anyway, Dan was the Rookie of the Year, of course, at the Nats. I think that was his first Nats, too. Now, Dan usually, I'm kind of disappointed. Dan usually, throughout the flight, somewhere in a flight, will sneak in a 1-foot bottom, give everybody the ooh-ahs, but looks like unless he's saving it for the hourglass or something. 4-leaf clover. Again, the air is absolutely perfect right now. Actually, with that rain, it clears out the air. It looks real nice. No sun in your eyes here. You're flying into the Coffin Corner. And it looks like even more people have pulled into the lot in the last hour or so. Some people here from Maryland, Delaware.
Cavalier XL
With a tune pipe or something crazy. Come on.
It's a Cavalier with a Randy Smith LS40 FP in it.
And it's a Cavalier.
And
The original one probably didn't have no foam wing.
No, it didn't. It didn't have a fusion-mounted gear either.
Does it have a fiberglass cowling?
No.
Oh, put them down 5 more points.
It's got steel I-beam spars.
Oh!
This is the good side.
No, there is no good side. Richie's got flaws in both sides of
I've
it.
been contacted by Ladies Feminine Products for its absorbency.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got, hey Dan, can you help me? Oh, sure thing. You know what?
I'll tell you one thing, you saved a lot of money on buffing compound, not having a buff.
Yes, I did. But the thing of it is I was told to build light and straight before I worried about finishing. Plus, I gotta learn how to fly, right?
Did you win any trophies with it?
Yeah.
Well, what do I get out of the deal? What do I get? A measly order for $100 every month?
Every
Come on.
morning I face my carpet to the east.
That's right.
Praise the Lord. I
listen, Pat Travers. Listen, he drove all the way up here from Baltimore. He never sleeps before a contest. This is what hurts him. Then he comes up here, tries to drink 14 cups of coffee, gets an upset stomach. Fell asleep at Middlesex. Probably fall asleep later today. Anyway. Anyway, we really are having some good air here. All 3 circles are flying, and even more people have just come in. I believe it, there's no more room in the parking lot. Looks like a beautiful day. Now we're going to be working next week like crazy on trying to get Ken's Nobler finished and get out here and fly it. Oh, well, I love to have a day like today to test fly that Nobler. Oh my God. We have been working like fanatics. We have been working the long shifts with no breaks. Trying to get that project online before the actual winter sets in, and winter can be very cool here. In this part of the country, you can wake up some morning and there's frost on your windshield, and all you want to do is go build an I-beam Spitfire. Anyway, that project is coming along actually better than I ever thought it would. We're having a good time. The fiberglass cowls look well received. This is their first day out, and it looks like everybody that's put their greasy fingerprints on it, including the guy with the Nobler. It looks like there's some definitely some interest in that. And we'll be looking to get more of them going in the future. Actually, looking forward to making more parts out of fiberglass. More to come. We'll see how this new ship that's still in my mind. I had this, Joe Adamusco had done the drawing for an I-beam Seafire, a Spitfire. And actually, it won't be long. A week or 2, we'll be cutting wood. Don't go away mad. Pat Travers, Baltimore, Maryland. Now here's a candidate for a fiberglass cowling. We could make that easily. Nice fiberglass wheel pans too. Ken's already working on making a mold for fiberglass wheel pans. More to come.
I have four OPSs done by.
That'd be a nice one too for fiberglass.
Yeah.
The man right there can tell you.
Have you slept in the last 3 days?
There you go.
Tell me the truth. Does this guy ever sleep, or he slept in the grass at
An hour and
Middlesex?
15 minutes last night. I slept an hour and 15 minutes last night and an hour on the way up here. My last 3 days I've been practicing, and I guarantee you every flight I practiced was better than what I just did
yesterday.
Pat, if you want to be successful in stunt, I'll give you a magic tip. It'll work every time.
Sleep.
Open a window in your apartment or house and throw your TV out the window. And build and buff instead of watching those late night soap operas or whatever you're
Gosh,
watching.
man, if I get rid of that TV, can you imagine what that's going to do to Ernowski's tape business?
No. You got to keep the VCR. You just throw the HBO away. I could go bankrupt if you stopped buying tapes.
That's why he films my flights.
That's right.
That's a tape
That's
sale
right.
there.
That's right.
I sent him this one.
That's right.
I come up here.
And the fact that I never collect the money, I mean, that has nothing to do with it.
You want to know what the best thing is?
To buy a pair of pants that fit next time you
put a couple flights in. Look at it as a hobby, not a profession.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And quit that night. That night.
The only thing is, I go up to an RC field. They got to clear the field. Nobody can take off or land. They let me have the field for my 7 minutes, and that's what I do.
Well, they're awful nice.
They are nice because
tar and feather.
In my neighborhood, they just let the air out of your tires while you're flying.
they don't want no parts of you. They look at you as a lowlight.
We took
Yeah,
a blank
really.
membership now.
It's 125 yards from my house, and it's
So you have no excuse not to be like
that's right. I have no
Paul Travers, you know?
right. I have no excuse, really.
Wow, I never knew.
Really and truthfully, you know,
I never knew.
and plus, you know, pointing the carpet to the east and praying to Wendy every morning, that ain't helping nothing.
That's right. 5 times, remember, 5. The magic is 5.
Well, yeah.
You point toward Rutherford and bow. Let me see your knees. You wearing your knees at? Nah, you're still an amateur.
Get no respect up here.
Classic Nobler side view. John Saunders, Yates Dragon. Robert, where is the Noble? You got it here?
No, I didn't bring it.
You didn't bring it?
I have room in my car. Very nice.
How did the fillets hold up? The fillets hold up good?
Yeah, the original way was just the white, the insert. Instead of making it blue, I made it red. I was going to make it blue, and then
How many flights you got on it so far?
about a dozen.
Are you happy with it so far?
Yep. I haven't done much with it, you know, I haven't really,
Well, the day we were here, the weather was so bad you could hardly do anything. Today would be a good day to, if you had it here, to do a little trim on it after the contest. Looks like the day's going to hold out for the whole day like this. It'd be perfect. Oh, the whole week's supposed to be like this. Yeah. It can turn on you in a hurry, though. You can come out here and all of a sudden, it's howling. Yesterday afternoon it got nasty. The orange and white one? Yeah. That's a green box guy. See, I wanted to make sure that cowling fit on a green box Noble too. That they didn't make something an inch longer or whatever. They'll sell a lot more of them if it fits both the old one and the new one. When you build it, the top and the bottom, they need to deal with it. It's like 8 inches or something. By the time you get some sand in there, like this one, when I cut it apart, you can see it's like paper thin. That's what I did too. So I said to put more motor on. First I extended the top now. No, those are real. That would be a real easy one to make in fiberglass. Real easy. That'd be a piece of cake.
We lose that.
Somebody's gonna hold on to,
your airplane still looks good.
maybe you go out there and go.
Come on, Pat. You got a shark kit. Just build it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going to. I really want to build.
That's a good design.
I love that airplane, man.
Lou McFarlane still has his original one, man. Awesome plane.
I guarantee you one thing.
Windy, see?
Big breast.
I'll traced it on my I'll tell you, he looks nice. Does look nice.
Hey, Don, how much money you figure you save each year by never wearing socks?
Breakaway gear and break rid of asbestos.
Oh, man.
You're on film.
Poor Don. They won't let him live.
Well, you're taking my shoes.
Nice feet. You ought to put a new blade in the razor, don't you?
What are you doing, Wendy?
Trying to have some fun. Something you haven't had in a long time. Did you miss me up here? Come on, you missed me. Be honest. Dan, show him how to have fun.
I tell you.
When he goes out to the circle, launch the plane before he gets to the handle.
The other day.
How about if I launch it inverted?
Lighten him up a little bit.
Is the muffler coming apart?
No, that's all right. I got like, if I want more, here, exhaust, I open that.
That's interesting.
It's hot, and you can, I can open it wider even. I never put it back.
Yeah.
What can go wrong will go wrong.
Man, I'll tell you. You're not kidding.
turn it. I don't know how I flew it.
I went out to the Nats this year. I made it there first time.
No, you made the top 20.
Yeah, just
That's damn good.
thank you. You had to see the week before. I was on my third engine.
Hey, Don,
My
anytime you
cowlings
guys roll,
falling off. There was things going wrong with that bird that I never seen before. I'm not holding them up. We were waiting for these judges.
They said they were waiting for the judges. That's what they said.
Yeah.
That's what they always say. Dan, you just lost 10 points, Dan. Better come up with another $30.
10 more? Jeez, I'm going to be broke at the end of this contest. I can't keep up with you.
You won't be able to make your child support payments.
Yeah.
Can't do about a signal, Daniel.
The signal's going to be that the engine starts. That's the signal.
It's a little loaded right now. I don't know. Is there any kind of fuel line I can pinch off? No, I guess not.
See, when you bullshit, the thing chokes out.
If we turned it up sideways, we turned it up and let the fuel run out of the engine. I don't know if it would work or not. Turn her over again. We can put it on the ground again. I'm just trying to, if we could clear some of that out of there.
know, it's funny, Don and I, a lot of times in the summer, we're up here, we're the only two at the field. He takes the one circle, I take the other circle. And we actually get sick of seeing each other. It's the truth. So it's a good safety factor to have a second person here in case you have a cut a finger or an arm off, stick your nose into a propeller, which really can happen. It's always a good safety factor having a second guy around. The John DeTavio Jerseyan. And the last time I looked at it was a Tiger 46, but I don't know what it is now. That can change with Don from minute to minute. And as usually happens around, let's see, it's 12 o'clock, maybe after 12. I see a little breeze finally coming up. And so the second round will be had with a little bit of action going on. Everybody's had it too easy this first round. But we're not going to stay the whole day. Karen has plans this afternoon. And being the good husband that I am, will be attending to those family obligations that crop up on contest day. But it was nice to see the fiberglass cowl was pretty well received. Real happy with that, in fact. Nice to see they've had such a nice day for the contest. And hope you've enjoyed sharing just a little bit of the action, a little bit of the nonsense that goes on, and the fun. Most of all, the fun. If you don't have that, goodbye. I'm going to try to stay around to get that big flight streak flying, but who knows with Dan around. Dan isn't the fastest guy in the world. It'll probably be a lot of fun to see it fly. I don't know if you can see in the video just how big it is. We had that on a Stunt Forum video. It really is a big plane. When you go to pick it up, it's like, you know, picking up a minivan or something. But I'm sure Dan is man enough. I'm sure he had his testosterone shot this morning or whatever, coffee, or Seagram 7, Zambuca, whatever he drinks. And if anybody can fly it, it'll be him. Randy Holcroft's going to be making me up some more mufflers to test with a larger ID and a different stinger. That was one of the things that came out of the test program yesterday. Like to get a little less back pressure in the stinger area. And this is what all these development things are. They're just back and forth, back and forth. You got to get them right. You just can't get them almost right. And on the stuff that I want to have on my own equipment, I want it to be as perfect as I can make it. So it always requires that fussing and fiddling and trying all the props, trying all the combinations. Don McGregor.
I got your letter. Thank you very much, by the way. I have to respond. Just came yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Trust me, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it.
Thank you. It's very kind words. I appreciate that.
Trust me, it's the truth. Whether you realize it or not doesn't matter. It is the truth.
You know, it's funny. I was looking at some old pictures, and sure enough, the green Mustang.
Yeah, that was always my favorite plane. You have no idea. When you were a kid, I wanted to kick your ass so bad. I mean, not even planes. I just wanted to take you out behind the shed with a pipe and whip your ass. You were the most arrogant. Nah, I wouldn't say arrogant, but you used to walk around with the green Nova, the dum da dum da dum da dum.
That's what happens when you hang out with Gene Schaefer.
Yeah, no, now you're such a mellow guy. You know, hey, even my wife loves you, and I mean, you know, that's the acid test.
He does the wrong thing, I'll be sleeping over.
Oh my God.
This is going out nationwide. I love it.
He meets my wife for the first time. I mean, my wife has never met him before. He comes to my house, and in 5 minutes, I can see he's winking at her and trying to rub her foot under the table. What a classless
And
guy.
she made a great dinner.
Yeah. And she said, he's a good-looking guy. Bring him over here.
Not bad for an old party. You know? Hey.
Oh, what a guy, Bobby.
That was a great thing to do, really. I pissed away so much money when I was young between this, other hobbies, cars. I used to buy a new car every 2 years, and I didn't need a new car, but I did.
But what my wife did,
Oh, you need to bring it over here.
she didn't care if we went.
Whip it! Whip it! Whip it! Whip it! Another lap! Another lap! Another lap! Another lap! Oh, another lap! Another lap! Another lap! Hey! Somebody go out there and take his pulse. Get the cardiac unit.
Later, Wendy's saying another lap.
All right. I know you really didn't need the laps, but we just did it anyway to see if you had you're gonna have imagine if you had a heart attack right now.
Man, would you guys feel bad?
No, we'd be laughing our ass off.
As long as you didn't let go of the airplane, you'd be all right. Just lay down and lay.
That definitely was the hype. Except if Banjock could ever fly that big flight streak. I'm staying around.
Fly.
Does it loop and everything?
It flies like a flight streak.
Fantastic. I'll stick around.
Gotta see the squares.
Oh,
You're to see him go up the ground on the overhead 8s.
I want to see his feet.
I'll hold her feet and she can hold on to the handle.
I think for an award we're going to give Don a pair of socks.
Almost like Brian flying the Crusader.
Everything packing under the front wheel, so he had to take that off.
Pull it out and burn it.
Oh!
That nice clown.
Well, that's a durable airplane.
I think
No damage.
I think it only broke a prop.
No damage at all. You're in the middle of a conversation and all of a sudden, boom.
Flight is tired though.
Yeah. Where are the judges?
He's about ready.
Any damage? No damage. Look at that. Outstanding. A prop.
This was middle section, the tarmac, and that would be the end of that airplane.
Oh, okay.
They had that thing on about the water speed record, whatever it is, and when the guy broke 300 miles an hour, the front of the boat came up out of the Maroon. Forget it.
They showed a thing on one of the shows like that. The guy's trying off for 300. A couple of them, every one of them bid it.
Oh, yeah.
The one guy, the bird, or the should be, and it just.
Yeah, don't back off on the throttle when that happens. Just keep going for it all.
It didn't matter. He was done.
The one guy, they didn't even find his arms and legs. They just found a head and stuff. Ugh.
Well, the one guy, I think they said he tried that three pontoon boat or something like that, and I guess had no idea what he was up against. With some sort of a rocket engine instead of a jet engine, and he.
Yeah, Sidewinder missile engine is what they use. A Sidewinder missile.
Yeah, that's it.
You hit that. How do you back off on the throttle? I mean,
it's like the Chevy Pilot.
The Chevy Pilot. Yeah.
When he hit that radio, man, there's no off switch.
Yeah, there's no JADO. Let me back out on the throttle a little bit. I don't think so.
125 foot up in a cliff.
Oh. You saw that. I had that thing on. It was on the internet. That crazy guy. Yeah.
Did you ever hear about this? A guy took a '69 Chevy Impala out in the middle of. Well, first they found this a wreck a smoking hole 125 foot up in a cliff. So it's an aircraft crash, obviously. Well, I guess when they're picking these things out of the cliff, like things like the rear end is coming out of a car, you know? How does a car get up
The
there?
transmission, brake shoes, Impala emblems.
He had gone out and got a JADO unit that they use to launch big military transports when they're overweight. They figured they got up to about 100 miles an hour before he kicked it in. There's a big scorch mark on the road where the rocket left its mark. Now, hauled ass down there. You can see where the tires burn off, where the brakes burn off, because I guess he realized, oh no, he's trying to stop it. And it flew 1.5 miles. It was airborne, and they estimated it hit at 350 miles an hour. And they say the spirit of adventure is gone in this country. Yeah. I laugh.
What's the thrust on that Rudder unit?
It's got to be 4,000 pounds.
It's got to be more than that.
Well, they take 8 of them and get a C-130 off. That's 100,000, 200,000 pound airplane. Probably, I don't know, 10,000 pounds, 2,000 pound cruise.
Yeah, and has the square square wing footage of a Rutherford too.
And rocket engines they are pure power thrust, unstoppable.
Yeah, they're not made for mileage.
No. The thing,
there is this
it
guy.
burns about 25 seconds, they figure. Still had a little burn time left in it when it hit, they figure.
How much wind do they find?
Oh, I don't think they found
None.
They didn't scrape a little off the roof?
Man, if you let me
quite a big steering wheel
from you,
I mean, oh my God.
Just look at this.
You're sure Strager won Reno? You sure of that? Now, that's not like just
No,
hearsay.
that was on the internet.
I gotta get a couple of those Reno magazines from Adam Usker. He buys all of them.
Speaking of magazines, it was Car and Driver or Carcraft or something. They have an article in there called The Spin Dizzy Craze. And it's a few good page article on tethered cars.
Oh, right. Ridgely's old man still has 3 or 4 with dual wings, with big dueling
I would
engines.
love to see
Car
some
and
of them
Drive
run.
some a few years ago had a good article on downhill on
They make good money.
I told him I was leaving that apartment with you. He said, we're gonna...
Yeah, he works at the patrol. I don't blame him.
You're in trouble now, cause he's got a Cardinal kit. You guys are in big trouble.
Something like SAS, or maybe LSP or something like that. You can read it for 70. Oh, well, I'm like telling these guys, you know, one after another, you know. Once they get this, you know, they make the same money I do.
You know, up in Massachusetts, hey, Pat, one of the Aries folded the wing. The beam broke. He had the hole cut for the belt crank too big. I talk about, you know, like things, common mistakes you can learn from. I wonder how many guys have done that and the wings folded. No. Jack Petrolius. He did too, right?
I heard it was a little windy up there.
Oh, it was windy, but the Aries folded. You know Petrolius, that orange Aries he's got? It's all clear. You can see through the finish.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's a beautiful plane, but where he cut the hole for the belt crank, he made the hole too big. So that the I-beam was only 1/8 of an inch thick, you know? Danny, that thing floated to the ground like it was on 2 parachutes. It didn't even put a scratch in it. It just folded the wing. It came down in 2 pieces.
It didn't splatter itself?
Not one bit. You can't believe it. I was videotaping it. It just came to the ground like a pan, you know, like a Kleenex would. The plane was so light. Unbelievable crash. Whoa! Danny, how much longer before they're going to let you fly that flight streak?
I don't know.
We got to pull some rank here with Peabody. Where's Peabody, judging?
I'll go.
Oh, he's not here. Ask him how many more he's got to go. I'm going to run out of battery here soon. All right, I'll finish Mike's flight. I'll be right over there. Next year, look for this guy to have a beautifully, meticulously finished Cardinal, and if he doesn't, we're going to repossess it. Because I'm sick of hearing all these nonsensical excuses that he can only do monocoque. Baloney. Paint it. Boy. Could sneeze and bite the lens right off the video camera.
What are you flying, Dan?
The streak.
The big one?
Yeah.
You getting it ready, Dan? All right. What a guy.
It's like flying a jetliner.
Can't wait for this. He's going to fly the monster streak. And here it will be captured on video once and for all. Whether he breaks the sound barrier or who knows what he's going to break. The upline. Check this out. This is a demo flight by Dan Bandek. Look at the size of this thing. Like sweeper size. How much did it weigh, Larry? How much will he admit to? What I want to know, is this made out of sheetrock? What is this made out of?
Bullshit.
He's selling rides. He's selling rides. Get in line. Whoa. Whoa. How heavy, Pat?
Bigger than your sweeper.
How many square inches, Dan?
1,600.
Whoa, definitely bigger.
Yeah, remember when you made me fly that sweeper? I haven't been the same since.
Yeah, but I qualified at the Nats, Dan.
That's why your right arm is 3 inches longer than your left arm.
My brain went off to one side of my head.
What's that?
What kind of motor is this? Can you read that?
Red-headed motor. ASP 108.
ASP.
ASP, what's that? Awful sad product? Look at the size of that moose.
Ooh, that's mean looking. You got a motor control on this, Dan?
Yeah.
What a wimp. Run it, wire it wide open, Larry.
Think we can
Put
get
a
away with
paper
it?
clip on it or
We'll
something.
bypass all this junk. What's all this stuff in here?
What's all these tubes and everything?
That's a fallopian tube. That's a...
He must not have a lot of confidence. I see a spare prop here. Is this the prop that whips up in the wind or the one that doesn't whip up in the wind?
This is a lower pitch prop than we had on it yesterday.
Actually, the conditions are perfect. They're just perfect for this. Dead, you can see the flag isn't even moving. Dead calm.
70 foot.
Beautiful.
Watch out for the pole.
Oh, Larry, watch out for the parking lot.
Watch it.
Wow, what a piece of work. Awesome, awesome.
Dan, you ready for the full test? I don't think you had to hold the airplane. What are you going to pull it to? All the way. About 9,000 pounds.
Get a picture. Oh, he is getting a picture.
That's it, can't go anymore.
Bottoms out the scale. If you knew how this bell crank was in there, you wouldn't even bother.
Ooh.
My arm's gonna go long before the bell.
Is that a 3-inch bell crank in there, Dan?
6-inch, 3/16 aluminum.
All right.
This is
Bob Zambelli was using it for a trapeze.
he was hanging on it.
Yeah.
Zambelli's not as big as this plane, though.
There's a 1/4-inch piece of music wire through the bell crank. 2 1/4-inch ply plates interlocked on
Oh.
spar joiner. Like I said, the shoulder goes long before it does.
Okay, I'm gonna sit on the outside wing.
What did you use for tip weight? A car snow tire?
They use me for tip weight.
Oh, Augie, is this going to be a show or what?
One of those things.
Oh my God.
That Scotch tape will hold it good enough to hold his head.
You see the video of the first flight?
No.
With the wing over and
No. Maybe we'll see another one.
it was flying all right.
With these kind of planes, you never do know.
In a wing, like the biplane over there.
Randy, no matter what the throttle is, tell them it's fine, but we'll wire it wide open.
No, you really don't want to do that. I've seen it.
Larry, get some 40% nitro.
That's not a whole.
Sneak it in, what do you think?
The
fuel we had yesterday.
Yeah, the combat fuel.
Oh my God.
Let's hope the batteries are still. Where's his box?
Yep. Just walk over it. It's like a diving board.
Did you say you had a
Let's go closed.
hobby shack twice?
Yeah.
Halfway.
They were good. The ones I
No, I don't know if I got a bad batch. Other people have told me the same thing. I don't know yet.
Have you had them earlier?
Nope, absolutely not. Only in the last batch have I had problems.
About a gallon
Before
and a
that,
half.
you did not. They were perfect. I never had a bad one.
Then
But the story is that they've changed the element material.
put a cheaper element in.
Or something, or changed something because they're not the same. I don't know. Hey, I'll know more.
Now, does your engine run good? You're in stunt.
No.
Does it run steady? It does not.
It's just like it's got a bad plug. You put a new plug in it.
Combat engines, you get them going. It doesn't matter.
You put a new plug in and nothing goes. No, it just goes better.
Everybody go stand behind the tree.
Right in center,
so you know just where you're at now.
That's the pole over there. Yeah, I just rolled go that way.
Yeah, don't knock the speaker over. What car close? You just got a couple and it's gonna work like that.
How many flights you got on this altogether, Dan?
4.5.
4 and a lap. 4 and a wing over.
Flight.
It just don't cover like the my slot. Chuck Holsap will eat your heart out. We flew his twin, I don't know, a month ago or something. That's an arm puller.
What twin?
He's got a twin arrow commander that's big. Well, not this wing wise, but oh, jeez.
Hey, does it run better when you wash it off before you fly?
Got any paper towels in?
Paper towels, paper towels.
Here's one.
Not nervous, are you, Dan?
Here's another one.
Larry, take your shirt off.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
This is the same way I looked
Listen,
yesterday.
if you get a little, if you get a little where you're nervous, I know a good backup pilot will keep him right here on the side. He can run for 2 laps. Randy, run for 2 laps, Holcroft. Hey, how about some pictures for Stunt News, you bum?
Selling rides, get in line.
Hey, hello there, What a blast from the past.
Get in line, get a ride.
I wasn't this nervous at the Nats. Jesus.
Is this a maiden flight here?
Nah.
Dan, have you ever been sued?
Have I ever been sued?
How big is that motor? A class action suit?
We were going to try and make up a real nice looking fake tune pipe for it.
I think I should.
Well, make a real one up. I get you one off a Suzuki 250. You'll probably fit right on here.
Yeah, that's all. That ought to be enough.
I think it's fine.
Fill it up. Come on, fill the damn thing up.
78 gallons?
Hey, we're full of Larry's mechanic.
Yeah, they like when I come in.
Especially it's the premium.
Yeah, man. If anybody, you hear any weird noises during throttle changes, don't worry about it. She gets a resonating. She'll try to keep a hold of it.
As the count ticks down, I don't know, check, pre-flight check, radio check.
Hang on, man. We ready?
Hold it.
That thing kicks like you wouldn't believe. You don't gotta be accurate. That's fine. You have a glass over there? You don't have enough.
There it is.
Come on, flip it barehanded. What a bunch of wimps. You guys wouldn't make it in my neighborhood. Look at that monocoque resonate. Look at that monocoque resonate. If you don't think monocoque resonates. I think we'll back up. Hey, you ought to back up, my boy. I'm telling you. A lot of bad things could happen if he hits Augie. Needs a trim tab. It's up inverted. All that resonating monocoque. Can't even find it here. They're dumber than I am, and that's pretty dumb. You could really hurt somebody if that hits them, boy. At least he's got good conditions. Thing idle's better than your scale job, Augie.
Oh, take it easy, man. Take it
Dan, you're making this difficult.
Okay, quick as Danny gets done making a spectacle of himself, we'll have OTS phase 2 on the front circle. OTS phase 2 on the front circle. Thank you.
Hey! All right, what a guy!
Okay, yeah, a little bit. That's, jeez,
Come on, it doesn't have that much tension.
a little bit.
Little bit. You are a good showman, though. I'll give you credit for that. You'll have a job whenever the circus is in town, no doubt about it. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
You know what? Through the lens, you can see the monocle resonates at 10,000 RPM. When you freeze the prop at 10,000, you can see the monocode going. Brrr. Look at the tape when you get it from Steve.
All right.
You'll see the monocode buzzing. Wild.
I told you to turn.
It turns great. It flies great. It needs a little tweak. It's up inverted.
Wing high inverted.
Wing high, but who cares?
Your throttle's operating off electric switch, huh?
Yes, servo operated. I think my batteries are dying. I couldn't bring her down to low.
About an eighth of a tank.
What's that?
It's not empty.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, probably bouncing around on the ground, it's sloshing. I'm glad it quit. It quit just beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, just perfect.
Yeah, on tar, you probably could.
Thing.
Yeah, just walk in front of it.
You just measure them.
You
And
do it on
you,
your computer?
yeah, you just draw out a line and measure a couple plot points and connect them.
Do you expect anything scientific from that side of the border?
Who has the airplane anyway? Where's yours? You build one and I got streamers.
Yeah, you can use a bed sheet for a streamer. Absolutely great.
It's smart enough for 49 streamers.
What size line are you using on this
That's 70-foot center of airplane to center handle.
Oh, what's
they're like 027s, but they're laminated with plastic. They're insulated. Some kind of fishing equipment or something.
Fishing cable.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big fish. There's no doubt about it. Even my fish would be impressed.
No. You can bump
Very
it up
impressive.
a little. You can bump it down a little. But the engine. Weird sound to it up there.
Can you adjust?
It resonates, Dan.
Yeah.
It's definitely resonating in the monocoque.
Yeah.
Can you have the throttle so low that you can actually shut it off by coming down?
No, I can't. We have the stop set up so we can't kill it.
Because you could, if the throttle could be brought down enough, it could be able to.
Yeah, the only problem is I have no way of setting to know where a stop is. I need some kind of stop at idle and then go to shut off. So right now we figured idling down that slow. If we had to put it in, I could hit and down it and break a prop, But that did great. Woo!
Is that 3 times the flight streak or 2?
Just twice.
Twice? Yeah.
You know, when you say scale up a flight streak twice, it doesn't sound like much. When you start adding cubic yards to things,
It's not twice. It's 4 times a flight streak.
yeah, you're going in every direction.
48,
Quarter-inch music wire landing gear, and it's comical. The tail wheel so short, we figured we could just use 1/16 wire, right? Yeah. So we put it on, set the bird down, and it went collapsed on us.
So what's that, 3/32 seconds?
Yeah. And 6-inch belt crank, 3/16 thick aluminum, quarter-inch pivot, quarter ply top and bottom, and a quarter-inch spar, quarter-inch ply doubler, like here to here. And that's those are 3/8 by 3/4 screws. And the leading edge is built out of 3 individual pieces joined together to make a flight streak leading edge. That was Danny. What a before and after measurement of your arm. Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you.
First prize in the world. Ask me if you want to buy that.
You want to buy this one? Yeah.
You're gonna bring your pet cat or something.
Well, this will be back. This will be back next week. It's Ted's turn to fly it. He couldn't make it here this week.
He had to have arm surgery. Fly's good.
Brian to keep her flying it?
No. I can try and keep her riding it. You know what that trick is? If you ever could, is get out on a field where there's, you can put 100-foot lines on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, would that be awesome?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna make up another.
But mark the reel just in case you.
What's the total weight on it?
I don't know. You pick it up. You can. I don't know what it weighs.
You put it on a bathroom scale.
Yeah, I'm a meat scale. There's some weight there.
Well, you could make it a lot lighter if you really were like crazy wanted to do it, you know? Hollow all the blocks to 8 feet. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. They can fall apart, yeah.
I don't want to fold this way.
No.
We've already seen what this thing looks like in lots of little parts.
I can tell you that. I remember when you had this at the stunt forum. It was great. It looked really cool. You had the wing or the spar or something there. I don't remember. I thought you were building a house or a garage or something. You were hiding behind one of the ribs. Well, I would when some boss company got rich on building this. Well, it's been fun, but I gotta go do family stuff. One of us gets family eyes today.
Just came out here.
You know what I mean.
You had a fly next weekend?
Yeah.
You're not coming back next week?
No. No. If I wouldn't have had somebody ride me up here, I wouldn't have been able to make it. Okay. No damage at all, huh?
No.
None.
No damage.
Wow, I'm telling you.
Ready to go in a minute here.
I'm ready. You got it. I got that crash on video, by the way.
You did?
Yeah. We were talking and somebody yelled, ah!
You got it, eh?
Yep.
That's impossible, you know?
No damage. I'm very impressed.
I mean, really.
Oh. That's really, like it must have went right in on a spinner.
It went right in,
Yeah.
head on in from...
Center sprung off.
From, yeah, the whole height of the circle.
Fine when I put a large.
Amazing.
So you bump it up or you bump it down. Now I think on that.
Medium.
No, you can find any setting you want with that. And you just hold that position. What do you have? Does that look like fun or what? That was the first vertical 8 I did with it.
Was it?
Yeah.
A couple of times. You looked good and solid with it. A couple of times your feet looked like just like you're on your heels.
You gotta eat,
you know.
Hey Dan, I was just thinking, you know, I got the big sweeper, but it's not quite as big as I could bring that next week. We could have a fly-off. The Fat Boy fly-off or something.
I tell you what, you need to put. You really got to. If you plant yourself and get yourself ready, it's fine. But when you get off the mark a little, that's when the feet you got to catch up with.
Don't fly in wet grass.
I did it.
Yeah,
It slid me.
yeah, you can slide.
I was in the second outside loop with a little wind, and it's
Right.
flipping up.
Right.
And I'm in back, and my feet just went. So it leveled out a little
Yeah.
loop. All right.
I got some of your body moving. It was pretty impressive.
You need spikes?
He needed dancing lessons.
Soccer shoes or spikes or
I was
something.
thinking about that because on grass it would help.
Now, you know those Batman shoes that have suction cups? You can walk up a wall, Spider-Man or whatever you need. You can call him Dano Man.
I flew on a field that sounded like that as somebody.
This one.
If you flew on wet grass like up here in the morning,
I was thinking.
Straight up.
You're flying that phase 2 event, right?
What's that?
You're flying phase 2
Yeah.
also.
No, it's about that time of year. Hey, by the way, that was a great contest. And it's a shame I had to leave early, but Karen does rule the roost around here, not me. Anyway, I came home. I had a real nice letter to respond to, and I figured, gee, instead of responding to it, maybe I'll just put what I'm thinking on video, and I'll send my lucky friend, who will go unnamed, a little copy of the video for his own use. Now, what I want to say is, this Spitfire project started with Joe. Gee, I guess we've gone over this a million times. Back in the diner when he first had the elliptical wing drawn out. Now what he's done in the meantime is I have about 1,000 of these pictures many books, many pamphlets, many ideas, and this is one that I don't know, I look at it every day and I try to get inspired, try to come up with some kind of a really crystal clear idea as to what I want to do for 1998. The whole thing is wrong with doing Spitfire, and it makes me crazy, is there's so many Spitfires, and Joe always reminds me of this. There's so many Spitfires, you could build one or two a year for forever and not have a copy of every one. And I really do love the Spitfires, I love the Seafire. And what I was doing, I was just looking around through my magazines here and trying to put into words what I want to do and make a little sketch out of what I want to actually change on the plane and come up with some really, start to form the idea in my mind exactly what I want to do. Now our original Spitfire project, which I give Joe all the credit in the world for coming up with most of the hard work on it, I just felt it couldn't have been more successful. I mean, there's a couple of, obviously we could have won the Nats or something, but as far as the way that people responded to the plane was just unbelievable. And what I want to do in 1998 is capitalize on all the good things from the original Spitfire, add in what we learned in the Seafire project, and push this, as Essence of Emerald is, so famous for saying, is just kick it up a notch. And I'm trying to firm up in my mind exactly what those kick up a notch modifications might be. Again, we started off with the original. This was Joe's original concept of the wing. And we worked on this, I guess, as a team. I guess had as much fun as we possibly ever could. And there was only one downside to the whole project. As I always thought right from the very beginning, we could even make it more and more scale. But the original model, I just felt like it wasn't fair to do that to Joe. I wanted to almost guarantee that he would have a flyable model, and we weren't building some kind of a white elephant that wouldn't fly or something that was impractical. And so I kind of was real conservative. The fuselage on this ship was way under scale, along with having the flaps on the small side and the elevators on the big side, which it served the purpose I wanted it to serve. It made a real high performance model with an almost no risk guarantee, and that's what I was looking for on the original Spitfire. And I think, both Joe's and mine flew as well as you could expect a prototype model to fly. Now the second step in this ongoing development program, was the Seafire. The canopy molds, the hook, the cannons, a lot more fiberglass work, Griffin blisters. And what I learned most of all from this project was just how far further I'd be willing to take the risk now. Now that we have two of these planes that are really competitive, and I would guess, given the scores of the top 5 fly-off, just ultimately competitive would be the right word. I think these planes can compete with the best non-scale planes in the world, and they certainly would be very successful in Europe if we could ever muster up the skill to get on a team. I always hear from the people in Europe how they would love to see one of these on the American team, and it's probably only my flying skill and maybe some bad politics that keeps that from happening. But anyway, what I really want to do, and this is why I'm putting this on the tape, for all the people that are following along with this, what I'll call the Spitfire Seafire adventure, in the upcoming, I guess, 6 months, 5 months, we are going to try to take what is now the second design, the variant, the Seafire, and we are going to try to kick this up a notch even further. A much more scale fuselage width. We want to hopefully be able to make the wing a full I-beam wing, a really exotic construction technique that Joe's already got the plans for, and he made some little prototype parts. Another thing I want to try to do is make a much more scale-like tail. And again, the problem with all Spitfire projects, every one of them, there's so many variants, and I keep looking at books and making myself crazy with these desert camo schemes
there's just an endless array of possibilities as we start the 1998 season. It just boggles the mind how many things you can do with this airplane. And what happens is that fuels the fire in my case and makes it worse for me is I almost never get a day going by that somebody doesn't call to to talk about Spitfires or what some of the variations are, what some of the things we could do in the future. I mean, when I get pictures from Leroy Black and things like that, it just makes me even more convinced that we could really, really kick this up a notch in the future. And we could really get to a level where I don't think many people have ever been before. Now I have to tell you, at the Nats, having that second high flight on top 20 day, and I mean at that point in time, in my mind, you just couldn't have convinced me that there wasn't going to be another, even more scale, and I keep using that term over and over again, even more scale, even a more radical departure from what we have here. But keep in mind, what the object always is on a prototype model to make it safe, so you know you can learn from it. And once you have a couple of planes, what I'll call in the bank, then you can try radical departures. And one of the things we're going to be trying is a much, much more scale tail, and I've said that, and a much wider, thicker, more scale-like fuselage. And I guess when I really look back over the whole history of the Seafire, Spitfire, Joe Adamusco Fire, whatever you want to call us, it's just been a great adventure, and that's the word I like to use most of all, the adventure. The adventure will continue in 1998. Now we also have to put what I figure is in the bank is what I'll call, for lack of a better word right now, molding technology. We have molds for just about every size, shape, cowling, canopy, even a nobler cowling. And all these molds serve to reinforce, in my mind, is that these fuselages can be made even more and more scale-like, wider, thicker, more scale-like, with very little, if any, trade away in performance. And that's the direction we want to take this project in the future. Now just one little, I don't know if we've put this on the video before, but this is the original drawings that Joe had done for what we'll call an I-beam wing. It's not really an I-beam wing, it's going to be a carbon beam wing. And all of this is, of course, in the discussion stage with Joe, and we're still at the point in this whole project where it can change in a heartbeat, and that's the adventure. Now what Joe did is he pretty much laid out, with his own technology, something that I'm not part of, he laid out every one of the ribs. And here's a real nice little side note, Bob Martens, the official Spitfire draftsman, is moving from Utah to work with Joe down in Boeing. So we're going to obviously continue the tradition of having really nice plans, accurate, and Joe calls this the semi-E-beam wing. But this is basically what we're starting with. I don't know where it's going to wind up. But today, I wanted to lay this out, take a look at all the things Joe worked on. Because what this does, it gives me, I guess it's a mind trip. I just get ideas in my mind, and I'm still searching for that ultimate paint job, the ultimate little variation of the Spitfire. And what I really want to do is get the emphasis is on, not on really on performance increases, but on making it more and more scale. Now, Bob Martens, needless to say, he's been at work on this for a long time. These are his actual little ideas and drawings and updates, and I can't say enough about Bob. He's just been real good at helping out. Now, one of the things we wanted to do, if you notice the original Spitfire Seafire project, the tails had kind of a little flat spot that wasn't exactly scale, but we needed to keep within the realm of keeping a model, a high-performance model. What we're trying to do here is make this a lot more scale by shortening the aspect ratio, lengthening this. This gets now into a little bit more high-risk thing, and we're going to try to make it construction totally different, but I'm not sure exactly what. Again, this is the kind of thing that takes me a lot of hours. I lay awake in bed at night trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this. And that's part of the adventure. If it wasn't for that, if it was just building the same thing over and over again, I don't know, it wouldn't be as much fun. But this plane will definitely have a lot of unique construction techniques that I haven't even invented yet. To show you how intense Bob is at doing these drawings, he's even given me the outlines of our canopy mold and side view to show with the canopy open or shut. I don't know if the new model is going to have the turtle deck or like the early model, the bubble like the late model. So many variations, and that's where your head spins and you don't even know what color you want to make the model sometimes. Now another thing Bob has added is he's taken these Copenhagen ship curves, because almost the whole Spitfire Seafire, the whole thing is curves. And having these, what I'm going to do is glue these, contact cement them down onto 16th plywood and get a real smooth transition on the ones that I'm going to use. But having these, this will save me, these things are probably $50 or $100 having them in my inventory, and they'll be certainly good enough for doing this kind of modeling work. See, this is the whole thing about having a team. When you have a team comprised of basically Joe Adamusco, Bob Martens, John Pothier, people that have contributed real things that you can add to this. They, you know, in every possible way, all of the people benefit. It's symbiotic. Everybody does what they do best, and the net result is everybody should have a really nice plane. And I've always enjoyed doing it that way. This is one of the drawings Bob made without a canopy, so I could show the canopy open and shut, or transition from a turtle deck to a no turtle deck. And one of the things I want to do, I want to get out my books and just for the rest of the night let my head spin a little bit and try to come up with some ideas of something that really appeals to me for the future of this project. But tonight, I'll tell you, you get into this and you forget what time to go to bed and you forget to eat supper, and your head can really start spinning when you get into one of these construction projects. Now this is how good of a building partner Joe Adamusco has been. He's got all the ribs laid out in half rib fashion. I mean, this is what really makes this project go. I really can't say enough about working with Joe. It's just great. Everything he does is totally professional. Bob Martens the same thing, and the net result is at the end of a project you're almost guaranteed you're going to have something that's world class. Now just to give you an idea of some of the things that spin through my head. One of the things, well, I've even talked to Joe about it, we really don't have an answer though. One of the things that's neither one of us have really finalized or anything. Now Joe's going to finish the model that he has already in silver, and we're going to do some of that on the tape set. But one of the things the early model spits, the early models were a little bit different than the late ones. They have a totally different rudder, a little bit different empennage. One thing that's nice too is the difference in the wing construction. Now some of them have any combination of guns, blisters, multiple cannons, and some of them have the clipped wings. And many times Joe and I have thought, well, boy, clipped wing Spitfires, would that be cool? Well, I don't know what we're going to finalize in on, and I don't know how many people are going to be joining us in this building, but I know this is one of the things that's been spinning through my head, is to kind of do a clipped wing spit. That's one of the nice ideas. Now another idea, just some thoughts. The camo jobs. So many different camo jobs. The early ones were brown and green. We haven't done one of those yet. And just to give you an idea how many variations in paintwork and roundels and things, just a quick flip through some of the literature and your head starts spinning, you don't even know which one you want to do. Well, I don't know how many other planes, I'm sure Mustangs, Corsairs, P-47s have many variants, and those variants comprise a decision for you when you get to the point of paint jobs. What model are you going to do? An early one, a late one? We've always had so many choices that even the night before doing it, you're mixing paint in your mind and changing things, and it makes you crazy. Now the real early model ones that have
kind of a rounded rudder, and a turtle deck, and the Malcolm hood. That in itself would make a nice variation. In fact, one of the things I'm going to try to do this year is get that antenna. So at, you know, obviously you're not going to fly with it. It's going to, the first guy that launches a plane is going to get it in his nose, but it'll be a nice little accessory to have when you take a photo shoot or at appearance judging or whatever. Now, one of the things that Joe always emphasizes to me over and over too is it doesn't have to be a model that actually exists. In this case, we have the rudder that we modeled the last 2 years. Joe's added a different rudder to his. His is different than mine. Different variations in lettering, striping, invasion stripes. All this can comprise a whole unique different model. Look at Leroy Black's model, totally unique. Now, I remember on the original Spitfire project going back and forth trying to decide on the rudder shape. The scoops are different on many of them. The layouts of the radiator is different. The cannon arrangement, exhaust stacks, different spinner shapes, Merlins and Griffins. So many variations, you can almost custom design your own model. I mean, we're not entering this in a scale contest, so we can really have, you know, we don't have to beat the Axis powers either. We can have a free hand here to do what we want. Even models that didn't have armament, the observation models. Again, so many choices. And when I look at that video from the Battle of Britain Museum, there's 50 flyable Spitfires still. Every one of them is a unique little entity. I don't even think there are two that are alike. Now this is a variation within a variation, a clip wing Spit with a Griffin. So many, and I don't even know what mark group this belongs to, but so many. And this would be one if you were doing a stunt ship and you wanted to make one silver, just to save your weight on a paint or whatever. Again, very unique, interesting looking plane. Every time you make a decision that you know what you want to do, you come back to the books and you decide you want to do something different. It's unbelievable. More variations, just no end to it. The thing a lot of people are not really familiar with, but Joe and I have kind of figured it out on our own here. The Spitfires, the late model ones, belong to many different air forces, and they have completely different sets of markings and stripings and everything. This one has a real nice brown and green camo job, which would not have been prototypical except for early in World War II. So many variations on that alone. I know from every angle you look at a Spit, no matter what angle you look at it, it's a slick looking aeroplane. Stands out in a crowd. Yeah, all those late model Griffin ones with the big blisters and the big 5-bladed props. Boy, I'll tell you, I dreamed about 5-bladed props. I probably got 100 hours. I probably could have built 5 Nobles in the time it took me to make that 5-bladed prop. Again, a decision. In fact, I'll tell you the truth, early on in this, I was considering doing, this is a prototype model designated by the P with the observation color yellow on the bottom surfaces, and I was thinking about doing that as for a stunner. Would that be kind of unique? And actually, Steve DeJulia, I got to tell you, talked me out of it. He wrote me a letter and said, paint it robin's egg blue. And when I think back, hey, maybe you were right, Steve. Any model designated with the P in a circle is designating that it was a prototype model. Look at that 5-bladed prop. Oy. Anyway, without these dreams, it would be impossible to dedicate, for me anyway, the really, literally
hundreds and thousands of hours of my life to this project. But it's the books, it's the pictures, the friendships, the inspiration. People like Joe, like Bob Martens, like John Pothier, people that contribute endless amounts of their time for a project like this. And to every one of them, I really have to say thanks. And to the ego trip of having a guy like Leroy Black build one, he's built two, and just be very happy with the results. I'll tell you, it's a special feeling. Now, it's always a problem when you have so many variations. Boy, and I just say it over and over, and my head spins. You could make one or two a year for my life, the rest of whatever's left of my life, and still not have them all, still not have a Battle of Britain museum in your cellar. Then, as if there wasn't enough decisions to make, you add in all the variants of Seafires. Then there's the other dimension of this, is having all the paperwork, the side views, the wing views that just contribute to an endless supply of ideas. Even actually, there are ideas you could even use on a straight line stunner. They even have some Spitfires that had American markings, just as one variation. Kind of starting to like that early Spitfire rudder. It's almost, no matter which one you pick out, it would be nice. I think they'd all make great models. This bottom one, this is the rudder that Joe did on the bottom one. That has a real nice side profile too, and a long pointed spinner. Notice the difference even in the spinner cone shapes. And it's got the turtle deck, so even another one, as if your head wasn't filled up enough with this stuff. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you, give you an idea what's happening in my head tonight, and where we're trying to get this project to go. We're trying to kick it up a notch, trying to get it to the next level where this will be even more scale-like and still fly with the best of them. And believe me, if you have any ideas, I mean, there's so many people watching these tapes right now and sending me things. If you have some idea, or I really appreciated Steve DeJulia writing me that letter about the bottom color of the plane. Maybe you got some stuff to share with us. Please send it in. And of course, these long pointy ones, they've always captured my. This is the rudder I've always really liked. Look at that one on the bottom. Now remember, Al Rabe did a Mustang with the big teeth, the shark's mouth. I wouldn't rule that out of a future project either. Just more things. And if you share the love of Spitfires, then you already know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thanks for sharing that and this adventure. And the things that I've gone through tonight, trying to come up with a really special project for 98, and I hope you'll be part of it every step of the way. Please feel free to contribute too. Send me some pictures, send me some ideas. Let me know if you like the other two projects. Send me some photos, whatever. The more of this stuff we share, the more fun we'll ultimately have. And for me, this is the biggest reward of all, is every night coming over here, feeding the fish, kissing them goodnight, whatever. and knowing that I got 2 of these guys already in the Battle of Britain of Rutherford, the Battle of Rutherford. And I really feel like, you know, when my time here is done and I move on and you guys are reading magazines about what a cool guy Windy used to be, hey, just remember I put a lot of love and attention into these planes. And I tried to share it with everybody in a way that was fun, in a way that made sense, and in a way you can put to use in your modeling life. This whole Spitfire Seafire project, this ongoing thing, it really is a big part of my life's work, and I really thank everybody for sharing it with me. Now, in closing this out, oh man, we got a couple minutes more. I got to tell you something terrible that happened. This is really an awful thing. Yesterday, I put this net on. I don't know if you can see, there's a net over the whole pond. And what it basically does is keeps the leaves out. And you can see what a great job it's doing. It's keeping the leaves out of the pond. The fish are pretty much getting ready to go into their hibernating state. And I thought, oh, this is great. Wow, this is really going to work good. I'm an aircraft engineer. I know my stuff. This is really going to be cool. You can see, look at the leaf. It doesn't let any leaves go in the pond. How nice. So what happened is I send my stepson out here with the garbage. It's dark. He doesn't know. He wants to see how the net came out. He turns the big floodlight on. And on top of this net were all 12 of the frogs. They were jumping and they were getting caught in the net and jumping, getting caught in the net, jumping, getting caught in the net. So I felt terrible. And we tried to get all of them. In fact, we couldn't get any of them. The frogs outsmarted us. So what I did, I made this little tunnel so that the frogs can get back to their house. Now, I don't know if there ever was such a thing as a frog IQ test or a fish IQ test, but we're going to find out if the frogs are in the pond tomorrow. Well, I guess we'll come out later. Take a look. I feel bad. These poor frogs were jumping up and down on this net. They thought it was a trampoline. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's been fun and the adventure continues. As if life wasn't disappointing enough, we're all sitting around here watching the Yankees get have the Indians eliminate them from the pennant. Oh my God, I'm telling you. What a day. Frogs that can't get in the pond, Yankees that can't yank. Well, at least we have fiberglass cowlings working. Ah, President Nixon. Now this is what I love. First thing in the morning, UPS guy arrives here. This is from John Gajewski. These are for the next batch of kits. Well, let me just show you something. If you've never looked at motor mounts that are cut, you can go through a pile and find they're absolutely matched at both ends. And what he does, the board takes 2 slices off, bands them together so they hopefully don't get warped. Now, a couple of tips about motor mounts. I can tell you right now, I have had disastrous motor mount things happen to me. Here's one of the things that can happen. If you take motor mounts and put them in a dry attic. One time I took a box like this and thought, oh, I'll keep them out of the cellar, get all the humidity out of them. Put them up in the attic. What a mistake. By getting rid of the humidity, virtually every one turned into a banana. Another tip, you can store motor mounts where they're taped together. Look at a nice end grain on these. These are perfectly matched. Every one is exactly cut, exactly the right size. So let's hope the next batch of Cardinal kits that goes out of here, there'll be a lot of happy people with a lot of nice straight motor mounts. Anyway, I kind of look down each one, make sure each one is sight each one. But the thing is, everything that John Gajewski does is always perfect. That's a real quality set of motor mounts. That really is, you're not going to get that commercially, that kind of quality. I'm just waiting this morning here, hey, after all those frogs last night.
can't believe it. This is the stuff that Pat Travers gave us. What I'm going to do is, of course, there's all kind of warnings, you know, that the box will explode and whatever. I want to run a little test. In fact, I got time before Kenny gets here. I want to look at how they actually lay this out. Now, he's told me he's had really, really good luck with this. And the fillets on his plane were really good. So what I want to do, I'm going to make myself up a little test. And this is from Brownells Incorporated, 200 South Front Street, Montezuma, Iowa, 50171. And what, like any material you get, air epoxy, anything you get, you want to do this. Take and read the instructions, get an idea as this is going to be appropriate material. Second thing, make a little test. I'll go get some scrap balsa so we can make kind of a fake fillet with this. Now let me just read the instructions and figure out if we're going to mix this 10 to 1 or 5 to 1 or whatever. They give you a nice little set of instructions in it. A little T like this. This is just scrap balsa. Using up some scrap balsa. I'll mark on the back of it what I'm testing, the product that I'm testing, and run a little test. Now, Kenny will be here later today, and I hope we're going to get to do some of the filleting work. And we can use it as a test in the real world. See, a test, to me, a test needs to be on a plane that you're going to go flying every day. Just testing it and making a nice little part, that's nice. And it gives you some idea, but you don't know how it's going to react to vibration, to sunlight, to ultraviolet light. Is dope going to stick? But having a couple of these test pieces, it'll give us a good chance to really evaluate it in the real world. And I can get, if I'm happy with this by the end of the day, maybe we'll do some of the filleting on the Nobler project with this material. This is another critical thing. A lot of these epoxy mixes you mix by weight. It says this material needs to be mixed by volume, 1 to 1 by volume. So again, a lot of times even I'm hesitant to read all the directions, and a lot of times you can add more hardener or less hardener. In this case, they want you to mix it exactly 1 to 1. Just right out of the directions, this is Acrogel is a specially formulated, powerful bonding epoxy. This is made for guns, capable of permanently attaching metal to wood and requiring an axe or chisel for removal. Well, this might be really good stuff. Again, I'm going to do the test. I'm going to mix it. They give you a little volume cup. I'll mix a volume of this up. I'll run a test. Now, Pat Travers has had really good luck with this, but you know, not that I'm skeptical, Pat, or anything, but the reason is I always like to try it myself. When I recommend things, I don't like to recommend somebody run out and use something, and then you find out I didn't use it. You know, I just using you for the guinea pig. So, anyway. And needless to say, it's a good idea to turn a fan on when you're mixing this stuff. It does have a little bit of an odor. They give you a cup, they give you brown and black dye, because again, you're supposed to be using this on guns. We're not going to need that. They give you some release agent, which we don't have any real use for. In fact, I'll use my own little spatulas and things and save all this in case we ever want to use this on a gun. I think my wife might want to use it on a gun. You know, oh yeah, Wendy didn't win in Nats again? Can picture that. This little mixer that they give you is really handy. You can get exactly the same amount. Now this material is thixotropic. Thixotropic is a general term meaning that if you turn it upside down, it won't fall off. So there would obviously be some real handy uses for that, like doing the bottom fillets where you the plane is upside down and you wouldn't want it to run or drip. Ah, President Nixon, just in time. Whenever you're mixing this kind of material where it's real thick, one of the tricks is you don't want to go like this because you create air bubbles. You want to mix it slow and steady. It says to mix it for 2 minutes, and then you have a pot life of 20 minutes, which is probably way more than you need. This is really material. It's high-end material. High-end meaning it's very expensive. The amount, this is probably an expensive little kit. But for the filleting on a plane, I don't think this is a problem at all. I think this is going to be I'm looking forward to doing the test. In fact, what I'm going to do is get the air epoxy out and do the same test, and then I can compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. But if you're not willing to do the tests, or if you want to do bogus tests, you know, do it on your friend's plane, tell him that you did it and you really didn't do it. Yeah, well, you know what happens? Eventually people find out you don't know what you're doing. It's like you can't fool all the people all the time. You can't fool dogs and kids. If you don't do the tests and you're not willing to take the time and energy, you know, it's a real handicap. Anyway, it says 2 minutes. I'm trying to get 2 minutes of this in. And then I'm ready. I'll use the spatula here to make it, but it's really thixotropic. It's nice and thick. Should make a nice fillet. Look at that. You can almost pick it up by the material itself. Now, what I've done is just done a little practice guy here. See if you can, just using a spatula. I made a little fillet on both ends of that. Again, if we were doing this on an actual airplane, what I would do is put the tape down and... Now what I want to do with the other piece, I have one other one. I have a little bit, I have a lot of material left. I really mixed too much material. I want to add some cabosil to this so that this will be a little even thicker. Now this is really almost, in my feeling, this is a little bit too thin. This is where it becomes a personal taste thing. It's a little bit too thin to be making the kind of fillets I like to make. But a little cabosil will thicken this right up, so let me mix some of that in. See, and this is something now, you can actually use it just like a thickening agent. Now what will happen when I stir this? Again, this is the whole thing, you know. We have nothing to lose now. I have some spare material so I can run another test. Now it's really getting thick. Now that's more like, you probably could use micro balloons, make your own. You could use, tell you the truth, you could use dirt. Dirt will work. Be a little heavier, but if you were in a pinch and you needed to make some, you got to be kind of a little bit of a chef here. But if you run your test, and that's the point, I guess the biggest point of all that I've learned from working with master craftsmen like Joe Kay and seeing how Ski Dombrowski operates, people that really are at the world-class level, they always do the tests. They don't take anybody's word for anything. Now see, now the material is much thicker. Now I can make I think it spreads a lot nicer when it's thicker like this. Now this is a real good, I'm just thinking of one thing this material would be appropriate for. This is a real high-end resin. This would be good if you were trying to make a little fillet inside your cowling, a place where you wanted the hold-down bolt to go, something where you wouldn't mind if it was a little heavy, in trading it off for some real strength. Hey, if they're making guns out of this stuff, gun parts. And I want to thank Pat Travers. Needless to say, Pat is, hey, we make fun of the poor guy, we have fun with him, but he is a swell guy. Pat, you're okay. I don't care what Rich Peabody says about you behind your back. We're all having a lot of fun. As long as we keep having fun, we'll keep doing this. And see how different that looks. Actually, it's a lot easier to spread. It feathers in a lot better too with the cabosil. As we're getting up on the end of this tape, I see the frogs out there jumping around. Gotta go let them back in a pond. Yankees got eliminated by one run of all things. Anyway, wait till next year. Again, it's just a question of doing the tests. Mark the test piece so I know which is which. And I would say now, well, we'll look at this tomorrow. We have a lot of extra work to do here today. We will know at the end of tomorrow just where we sit with this material, if we like it, or if we're going to assassinate Pat Travers. Anyway, thanks a lot, Pat. Appreciate it. I mean, there's some left over here. Now, with the material left over, you can always, if you have something you want to just test it on, rub it on a piece of wood. And that's the point, too. if the first time you're ever doing fillets, make up a little piece like this and make a pretend fillet. Or if somebody at the field crashes a plane, run over and grab the wing panel where the wing joins the body. You can wipe it with alcohol. Use it to practice your technique. Always good to practice. That's how Pavarotti got to be Pavarotti. And Pat was also nice enough to give Joe Adamuska one of these kits. And we have done the test, and hey, hope we'll see you on the next video, and we'll see how this all worked out.